Welcome back to the channel, guys. Another Q&A session. If you didn't see the last one, make sure you check that one out. I'll put a link to that one in one of the pop-ups. And these videos are answering your questions on anything that's been asked about the subjects that I cover. I've got my notes, so let's jump into it. And if you want to ask a question, look out for the posts that are put out there every week or two that will prompt you to ask a question, and then I'll cover yours in the next video. So here we go with the first one. This is from Lumino9639. I love that name. Brendan, I had an online discussion on a British forum. I maintain that the English are much more superficial than Catalans. They denied it, although I'm sure none of them have experienced Catalan culture. Do you think this is true? Is British society much more superficial than Catalan, or I'm going to say Spanish society? And I get lots of people in the comments saying Catalan's not Spain, or everywhere in Spain is different, but we're talking about Britain and Spain. And on the whole, I would say that British society definitely has more of a kind of success through things, big cars or expensive cars, expensive houses, watches, jewellery, designer gear, than Spain. I know I can walk through Madrid and Barcelona and Marbella and see ridiculously expensive shops and clothes and wealthy people, and there's definitely wealth, but I think as a whole it is definitely more understated in Spain than the UK. I've been sucked into that for sure in my 20s and 30s, and I think I'm kind of coming out the other side of that now, and I think Spain's helped me with that. But lots of people in the UK are chasing things that they can't afford to impress people that they don't know, and they're spending money that they don't have on it. Might be a testament to why the UK is struggling. Opting out of that, valuing the things that you really value, and taking the time to see the world in a different way, which allows you to see what you truly value, because you get lost in the melee, the noise, the crossfire of society, the marketing. You get lost in that. Before you know it, you've signed a lease for a car that you just have no real right to own. Coming away from that for a bit allows you to see things differently. Really important perspective, and that would be my advice. Hope for that helps. Here we have another question from JackJock7290. I love these names. It's just another one after another one. Brendan, some older people don't like gyms. We prefer to exercise outdoors, in parks and on the beach, and by walking. I also do squats, dips, triceps, push downs, burpees. Could you give us some tips when you make a corresponding video? And it's a great question, and I'm glad that you are firstly exercising. I think health is the number one thing. In terms of tips, I'm going to pause and take a quick drink of my great El Magnifico coffee. The best advice I could give somebody looking to get into fitness is get a coach. You don't necessarily need to work with a coach every single day, every single week. You could just learn how to move well, because there's a lot of validity in doing the exercise right, keeping a neutral spine in your movements, keeping your arms tucked in when you're doing things like push-ups, and warming up correctly, mobility work, that kind of thing. And I do stress, a good coach, personal trainer, will take the time to show you that. Technique is everything. If you load poor technique, you're staring an injury in the face, a repetitive use injury, something like that. And if you load a quality movement, you can really build functional strength, functional capacity. That's what you want. Even if it's just avoiding things like slips, trips and falls, as opposed to, say, winning a race or competing at something, it goes a long way. My father, who is 80, nearly 81. He does a really simple routine, very similar to that, single leg squats, core work, some press ups, that kind of thing. And I always hammer him on the technique when I see him. And it is things like keeping the elbows in, keeping the knee stable with your squats and not letting it knock, and so on and so forth. Difficult to address in a video like this, but keep up the good work. And my one message is go and find a great PT or coach who you can just spend, say, 3 or 5 sessions with, learning how to move. It's going to be time and money well spent, let me assure you. Next one from Talbot Slade. Watch question. Why would you buy watches you don't wear in any kind of rotation? Well, I think this is actually coming off the back of a video I did on Daytona, and I wear all my watches, but when I moved to Spain, I left a lot in the UK in a bank vault, and I've got a habit. It's as simple as that. I always wear my watches. I don't keep any. I don't buy them to keep in the safe or like as an investment. I think there are much better investments than watches, but you can't wear them all, and any collector will know it's a slippery slope when you get into it. It's the same with fragrances. You know, I've got fragrances that I've kind of hardly taken a dent in because I've got lots of different fragrances. I enjoy those collections and that collecting habit. And I don't know, maybe people get that or they don't get it. I don't know, let me know in the comments. But it's about the enjoyment of the collecting and the chase, as well as the wearing of the watch or the fragrance. But that's why I'm actually selling quite a few of my pieces, because I'm not wearing them. I don't need that many watches. My tastes have sort of changed. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Buy watches to wear is my message to you. Let's have a look at this one. Chris Davies asks, loving the content. We've just come back from a holiday in Costa Brava. Stayed in Pineda del Mar, Tossa de Mar, and of course Barcelona. Could you at some point do a video on the logistics of moving to Spain now we are post-Brexit? Well, I'm going to record a full video on moving to Spain post-Brexit, but in short, for this video, it's actually not that difficult. You basically just need to apply for your visa and have a means of funding. You can't just move unless you have funding, and I think that's really, really fair. You know, it's good that you have to be able to be self-sustainable. You either have to have a job or have a business or have a way of funding yourself, pension, non-lucrative, or enough money. And that means you're not just kind of living or extracting from the country, you're contributing as well. You've got to contribute to social security. But fundamentally, you just have to apply. There's definitely more to it, so look out for my next video on how to move to Spain post-Brexit. Stay tuned. And last question from Koule Brocule Brote 3009. A great name. Brendan, one question. What is the difference between standard of living in the UK and Spain? I mean, which country do you think has the best quality of life? Thanks for your answer. I mean, I've done lots of videos on this, so you probably know what I'm going to say. For us, 100% Spain. The weather, the people, the vibe, the cost of living. I can't say any more than that. It's exponentially better, and I think many people in the UK would live in Spain if they could, or if they kind of got to that point. They figured that out. Lots of people perhaps almost don't give themselves permission to look outside the conditions that they're in, and maybe a bit more reactive than proactive. But for us, being a bit more proactive than reactive, looking ahead, thinking where do we want to be, It's really amazing for us, this country. My children love it, my wife loves it. Everybody's making friends, we're learning the language, etc. So yeah, I can't say enough nice things. The UK is still a great place, albeit it's definitely on a decline, definitely needs change, definitely needs significant reform. But at the end of the day, there's lots of amazing parts of the UK, from London to the Lake District to beautiful rolling hills of Yorkshire, where I'm from, and some amazing people too. Don't write it off, but for us, we're in a great place. That's enough for this one. Thanks again for watching. If you have a question, look out for the post that I put out and comment with your question. And let me know your thoughts on this one. If you like this format, I'll keep doing it. And subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and share with somebody that you think might enjoy it. See you on the next video.